What if the character you thought was gone forever suddenly walked back into your life, alive, changed, and carrying secrets? Just when fans had started to accept the loss of Ty Borden, Heartland Season 19 flips the script in the most shocking way possible. Rumors turned into whispers, whispers into hope. And now, that hope becomes a reality. Ty is back. But his return isn't just a reunion, it's a storm. A storm that threatens to shake every relationship, test every bond, and expose the truth behind his disappearance. This isn't just another season, this is the moment that changes everything. For years, Ty Borden was the heart of Heartland, fiercely loyal, endlessly loving, and always standing by Amy's side. But after that devastating farewell in season 14, the ranch and its people had no choice but to move on. Amy stepped into motherhood alone, Lou buried herself in politics, and Jack tried to hold everyone together. Yet something never felt complete. It was as if a chapter had been left unfinished. Season 19 opens with that haunting emptiness still lingering over Heartland like a shadow. Everything changes when a stranger is spotted near the edge of the ranch. At first, it's dismissed as a drifter, but then old instincts kick in. Spartan senses it first. The horse that once only responded to Ty begins to act strangely, as if it recognizes something. Or someone. Amy brushes it off, but that unsettled feeling stays with her. Until one night, a knock on the door freezes her in her tracks. She opens it, and there he stands. Ty Borden. Not a ghost, not a dream, real. Breathing. Alive. The silence is deafening. Her eyes fill with tears, but her heart races with disbelief. Where had he been? How is this possible? Ty doesn't speak at first. His face is older, his eyes deeper, burdened. Something has changed in him, and it's not just the time. As the family gathers, stunned and confused, Ty finally begins to unravel the mystery, but only slightly. "I didn't die," he says. "I was taken." This revelation shocks everyone. He doesn't go into detail, but it's clear his disappearance wasn't an accident or a misunderstanding. There's something darker beneath the surface. Something that kept him away and nearly destroyed him. Jack's hands tremble as he reaches out to touch his grandson-in-law, trying to make sense of it. Lou is speechless, torn between joy and fury. Georgie, visiting from her competitions, is in disbelief. And Amy is numb. How do you welcome back the man you grieved? The man you learned to live without? But even as emotions swirl, one thing becomes clear. Ty's return isn't the end of a story. It's the beginning of a dangerous new chapter. One that brings threats to Heartland's doorstep. One that could rip open wounds they thought had healed. Ty didn't just survive, he escaped something. And whatever it was, it may not be finished with him yet. In the days that follow, the ranch becomes a place of whispers and tension. The town starts buzzing. Some neighbors doubt the truth. Others fear what it means. Ty avoids public places, avoids questions. There's a deep scar on his side and a haunted look in his eyes. He's changed, and Amy knows it. But what hurts her most is that he won't say everything. "I can't tell you," he says more than once. "Not yet." What could be so dangerous that Ty, even now, stays silent? Season 19 doesn't just bring Ty back, it unearths a mystery that's been buried for years. A past that didn't die, but waited in silence. And now, as that past crashes into Heartland, the people we love must face more than just the truth. They must face the cost of believing in it. Ty Borden's return should have been the miracle that brought peace. Instead, it stirs confusion, fear, and doubt. Days pass, but the shock hasn't worn off. Amy watches him every moment, studying his expressions, trying to understand the storm behind his quiet eyes. He's home, yet distant. Present, yet guarded. Something inside him is broken, not from time, but from trauma. And slowly, painfully, the truth starts to surface. One evening, Amy finds Ty sitting in the barn staring at Spartan. The horse nudges him gently, just like old times. Ty whispers, "You're the only one who saw me for who I was, even when I was gone." That night, he opens up, just a little. He tells Amy that after being rushed to the hospital, something went wrong. Someone intervened. A group pretending to be medical officials whisked him away. He was unconscious. When he woke up, he was somewhere else entirely, isolated, monitored, controlled. He doesn't name them. Not yet. But the word experiment slips out, followed by pharmaceutical trial and off-grid facility. The moment Amy hears it, her stomach turns. Ty wasn't just missing, he was imprisoned. Amy wants to go to the police, but Ty stops her. "They won't believe us," he warns. "And if they do, they'll silence us." It's not just fear in his voice, it's experience. He's seen what these people are capable of. He's lived it. And worse, he's brought it home with him. That facility, whatever it was, is still watching, still tracking. Ty shows Amy a small scar behind his ear. "They planted something in me," he says, voice shaking. "I'm not sure what, but it's why I ran before they could finish what they started." Amy feels her world tilting. Every emotion crashes over her at once. Relief, anger, terror. This isn't just about getting Ty back. It's about keeping him safe. But from what? Or from who? Meanwhile, Lou and Jack meet in secret. They need answers, and Lou's political connections might help. She reaches out to a former colleague in Ottawa who specializes in corporate investigations. The name of a hidden biotech company surfaces. Nexicor. Off the books, privately funded, quiet lawsuits, all signs point towards something deeply unethical. Lou warns Amy, "We're dealing with something big, bigger than us." But it's not just the adults who feel the change. Lindy senses something is wrong. She loves her dad, but he feels like a stranger. He holds her, but there's pain in his touch. She asks him, "Did you think of me when you were gone?" Ty fights back tears as he replies, "You're the only thing that kept me alive." At night, Ty walks the ranch, restless. One night he sees headlights in the distance. A black SUV, parked too long, watching. He doesn't tell anyone, but he begins sleeping with a flashlight and a knife under his pillow. Amy notices, and her heart sinks. This isn't over. Whatever Ty escaped is still out there, watching, waiting. The tension begins to grow, not just within the family, but within Ty himself. He's become hyper-aware, constantly checking over his shoulder. Jack tries to calm him down, saying, "You're safe here." But Ty responds, "You don't understand." They don't stop. They erase. Amy tries to help him heal, but how do you heal from something you can't name? She reaches out to a trauma therapist from Calgary. Ty agrees to one session, but it ends with him walking out, breathless and panicked. "They made me believe I was dead," he confesses later. "They erased who I was. I'm still trying to remember who I am." This line hits Amy like a bullet. Ty is back, but the man she loved is still hidden behind a wall of fear. And the worst part? That wall is not just emotional, it's real, built by people who still want to control him, people who may be coming closer every day. By the end of this section, the mystery deepens. Ty's return is no longer just a miracle, it's a warning. Heartland is no longer just a home, it's a target, and every moment they hesitate could be the moment they lose him again. The silence around Heartland isn't peaceful anymore. It's heavy, thick with unspoken fears. Ty walks through the familiar trails, but the sound of crunching leaves beneath his boots now reminds him of escape routes, not nature. He scans the trees like a hunted man. The peaceful life he once knew feels like a fading dream. And Amy, she feels like she's clinging to a ghost. He's there, breathing, talking, but every word seems to echo from somewhere distant. Jack, ever the rock of the family, refuses to sit idle. He believes in facing problems head-on, and this one is no different. But this time, it's not about fixing fences or guiding lost horses. It's about protecting the people he loves from a threat he can't see. He starts asking questions in town, visiting old friends in the police force. What he uncovers sends a chill down his spine. Strange reports, people disappearing, medical records vanishing, and all leads pointing back to a company operating quietly in the shadows. Nexicor's name pops up again and again, always just out of reach, always one step ahead. Meanwhile, Ty becomes increasingly paranoid. He installs cameras around the ranch, insists on security lights. When Jack confronts him, Ty snaps, "You don't know what they did to me." But then his voice cracks, and he adds softly, "And I don't know what they left inside me." The family begins to fracture under the pressure. Amy wants to help, but she doesn't know how. Lou urges her to leave, to take Lindy somewhere safe just in case. But Amy won't run. Not again. She looks Ty in the eyes and says, "Whatever they did, whatever they're planning, we face it together." Still, the pressure is mounting. Strange things begin to happen. A power outage knocks out the cameras one night. Spartan is found with a small dart in his flank, tranquilized. Nothing is stolen, but the message is clear. "We can reach you." Ty breaks down. He holds Lindy tight, sobbing, whispering, "They're warning me." Next time, they won't just send a message. Amy contacts Lisa's friend, a journalist who used to cover military corruption. The woman is hesitant but intrigued. She agrees to meet Ty in secret, hoping to hear his story. What she hears is worse than anything she imagined. "If even half of what you're saying is true," she tells Ty, "you were part of something illegal, dangerous, and they'll do anything to cover their tracks." But that night, she vanishes. Her phone is disconnected. Her apartment is empty, just like that, erased. Amy and Ty are left staring at each other, realizing they just pulled the wrong string, the kind of string that unravels everything. They try to report it to the police, but the officer they meet seems unusually dismissive. Too calm. As they leave the station, Ty notices the officer's watch, a Nexacor logo engraved on the band. Trust is gone. Nowhere feels safe. They return home, but Ty begins to talk about leaving. "They want me back," he says. "Maybe if I go, they'll leave you alone." Amy grabs his arm. "You left once. Don't leave again. We'll find another way." The emotional toll grows heavier. Ty begins having vivid nightmares, screaming in his sleep, seeing men in lab coats, cold lights, endless needles. One night he claws at his own neck in panic, shouting, "Get it out! Get it out!" Amy calms him, crying, holding him until he falls asleep again. In the morning, she makes a decision. Whatever was implanted in Ty has to be found and removed. Lou uses her connections to bring in a private medical specialist. He scans Ty, and what he finds is shocking. A microchip. Embedded. Active. "It's transmitting something," the doctor says. "Probably location, maybe more." They remove it in a high-risk secret procedure in Jack's basement. Afterward, Ty looks dazed but lighter, as if a weight has been lifted. But none of them know whether removing it triggered an alert. 2 nights later, another SUV appears. This time it doesn't park. It drives straight to the edge of the property before turning away. The message is clear. They know. They're watching, and they're coming. The family tightens their defenses. Everyone is on edge. Katie and Georgie are warned. Mallory comes to visit and senses the tension immediately. Jack hands her a shotgun. "You remember how to shoot?" She nods grimly. "Good. You might need it." Ty stands at the barn doors, staring out into the darkness. The man who once healed horses with a touch now feels like he's the one who needs healing. But how do you heal from being owned? From being experimented on like a lab rat? He turns to Amy and says, "I'm tired of running. If they come back, I fight." Amy doesn't blink. "We fight," she answers. And as the night falls, the family prepares for what's coming. Not just for Ty, but for all of Heartland. Because whatever storm is on its way, it's already here. Darkness looms over Heartland like never before. The sun still rises, but it brings no warmth. Every breeze feels like a whisper of danger. The air, once full of laughter and the gentle sounds of horses, now holds a suffocating silence. And in that silence, the storm finally breaks. It begins one cold morning. Ty and Amy are in the barn when the horses start to panic, ears pinned back, hooves stomping. That's when they hear it. Vehicles, multiple, engines growling in the distance, getting closer. Not the usual farm trucks. These are heavy, armored, and uninvited. Amy rushes out, heart pounding. Ty's face hardens. It's them. The entire family springs into action. Jack grabs his rifle. Lou alerts the police, again, but they know help won't come fast enough, if at all. Lisa gathers the kids and hides them in the cellar. The ranch becomes a battlefield, not of bullets and blood, but of fear, courage, and unshakable love. As the vehicles pull up just outside the property line, men step out, not in uniforms, but in suits and sunglasses. Too clean, too calm. One of them steps forward and speaks into a megaphone. Ty Borden, we need to speak with you. This is about your health and safety. The nerve of them, to pretend this is about protection. Ty clenches his fists. They lied before. They won't lie again. He steps forward, but Amy blocks him. You're not facing this alone. The man in the suit smirks. This doesn't concern your family, just you. But that's where they're wrong. Heartland is family, and family doesn't break apart. Not now. Jack steps beside Ty. You'll have to go through me first. The standoff grows tense. The suited men exchange glances. One lifts a device, a small remote. Suddenly Ty stumbles. Pain sears through his body. He drops to his knees, clutching his head. They didn't need the chip anymore. They already wired something deeper. Amy screams his name. Lou rushes to help. But Ty, gritting his teeth, pushes through the pain and yells, "They can't control me anymore!" With a final surge of strength, he smashes the remote device in the man's hand. Sparks fly. The man stumbles back. The control is broken. But now, chaos erupts. The suited men retreat briefly, regrouping. But Heartland's not waiting. Jack fires a warning shot into the air. You're trespassing. You have no legal right to be here. Suddenly, flashing lights approach. Finally, the police. But not the local kind. These are federal agents, called in by Lisa's friend, who managed to get the message out before disappearing. The tables turn. The agents confront the mysterious men. Stand down. We have reason to believe this operation is unauthorized. For the first time, fear flickers in the eyes of the suits. They argue, resist. But it's over. One by one, they're detained. Vehicles impounded. Remote systems confiscated. Ty, exhausted and bruised, watches as the shadows finally start to lift. Later, in the quiet of the barn, Amy wraps her arms around him. It's really over, she whispers. Ty doesn't answer right away. He looks around, the place where he found healing, love, family. He nods slowly. For now, but I'll never stop looking over my shoulder, and I'll never stop protecting this family. The truth slowly comes out in the weeks that follow. A rogue wing of Nexicor had been conducting illegal human experiments under the guise of advanced trauma research. Ty had been one of many, but he was the only one who escaped, the only one who survived with a clear memory. His return exposed them. News reports explode. Whistleblowers come forward. The world watches in horror, and the Borden family, scarred but strong, finally breathes. The ranch is never the same again, but it finds new strength. Lindy grows up knowing her father didn't just return. He fought. He protected. He endured the unthinkable. And Amy, she never gave up on him, not for 1 second. In the final moments of the season, Ty sits alone on the hill overlooking Heartland. The sunset bathes everything in gold. Amy joins him, silent. They hold hands. And for the first time in a long time, Ty smiles. Not because the fight is over, but because he's finally home. Ty Borden's return wasn't just a twist. It was a resurrection, a reckoning, a reminder that even in the darkest storms, Heartland shines.